Unfortunately, Warlock applies discounts before She-Hulk, so your Warlock discounts can get used up on the She-Hulk. So, playing Makari in this deck to maximize your draws where you have She-Hulk is kind of and Moon Girl is kind of a classic win more situation. You're probably already winning the games that involve you playing She-Hulk and Moon Girl, so you don't really need to min-max them further and maximize your output inside of those games. All right, so Warlock here, going to apply 6 1-energy discounts to our hands, says local man about to be Mobius.
We are the future.
That's fine. So 3 of them went on to... Or 2 of them went on to here, 2 of them went on to here. But that's fine. He's gonna get with at least 1. Or I was gonna be free either way. It's still fine. So our whole hand here is free, yeah? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this monkey is 13. I think we put She-Hulk over here. And then honestly, I might just full play for the right. I guess I could keep them honest in the middle and then play the rest of these for here. I don't hate that. Let's do that.
Minions.
Oh, I should order these different for Warhead. Sure, that's a good call out. Absolutely the case. Well, that was a stellar proof of concept. Got the casserole here.
Victory.
This deck is almost the same thing you played from a year ago as Destroy Soul Alive. Marvel Snap is unironically one of the best balanced live service games I've ever played. You can feasibly pick up a deck that's even as much as 2 years old and just jump back in and continue playing it and get back to infinite if you've stepped away from the game. Snap does a really good job of designing new cards with interesting designs that are not simply bigger numbers and more powerful than previous things. We get regular balance passes twice a month, and what's the best changes a little bit week to week, but the best deck is never significantly better than what else is going on. Black Swan is lovely. Then we'll get to go Hope into Moon Girl into Pass. In theory, you could Warlock on 3, Pass on 4, and then Moon Girl on 5 to double the cost reductions. Yeah, that sounds like it works. That should be fine. And then this is going to be a game where we don't play Warlock, I don't think. Am I? I guess.
I'm about to juice this up.
Not a particularly impressive amount of points that we're gonna have, but seems fine. I assume they're gonna play out enough to take priority here. Prometheus, thank you for the 17 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Titania is free 99. Sure. They're a weird Galactus deck. All right, got that. We got that one covered, unless there's some type of crazy Baku situation I'm not thinking of.
Victory.
Hello, opponent. They just closed the app when they were done. This feels like a I swiped the app away vibe. My kingdom for Conquest to be 8 cubes total, right? Nope, they're here. All right. I don't mind if they want to play more games. We'll just play the game. No grief us. Is Gwenpool necessary for this deck? Gwenpool is simply a way to put numbers into play. Not even sure if she's optimal. Might honestly be better as another cheap card. With Warlock added to the deck especially. It's another card we want to play later. Doxy, you say? Yeah, something like that. Has Second and Earth changed anything about Conquest since it released? They updated the end screens very shortly after it was released and then haven't touched it since. I wanna soak up some sun. Gonna tell everyone that Sunspot is here. I assume we're getting Galactus.
Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.
Do you think the new Human Torch should be overkill in this deck? Why would the new Human Torch do anything in this deck? I don't understand. What's relevant or useful about that card? Mike Sallow, thank you for the over 2 years. Appreciate you keeping me around doing what I do. All right, so if we assume they 50-50 over here, we just have to assume they lose the 50-50, right? So I'm not beating them if they win. I didn't do math, but I'm pretty sure we're beating that, yeah? This is 13 alone. Yes. Quick maths, quick maths! Titania's such a funky card. Just like she's doing stuff like this gives you outs in so many spots. It's like in four by next trick. Yeah, good amount of stats in the last turn of the game there. Alright, we got Black Swan into Hope into a Monkey. Look at all of our gold crackle cards, chat. Aren't they purty? They're so purty. All right, discard. Can we keep up? I don't know. Let's find out, huh? Is the deck meeting expectations? I've played 2 matches and I haven't deleted it yet. So I would describe it as beating expectations currently. The key, chat, to not being disappointed in life is low expectations. Expect very little, and it's difficult to be disappointed with the outcome. Is that the best draw on my deck? Oh, yeah, that was the best draw on my deck.
I'm about to juice this up.
Oh yeah, we are juiced up.
All systems go.
All right, so these monkeys are plus 12 each, so they're 17. Seems pretty good for us, yeah. Dracula Swarm seems odd. Swarms are very stock in the Dracula build. You play them out before the Dracula happens. We're winning the ring, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Bullseye is less common, and Bullseye is actually the weird card in their deck. That's a good call. I didn't parse that. Bullseye is not usually played in the Dracula builds. Little half melted casserole. Win-win tie. Things you love to see. It.
Opponent snapped. Oh, snap.
Oh yeah, they're on Black Knight too. Yeah, it's just like kind of a collection of discard cards they like. Pretty far from a stock build, so to speak. Well, that's a 3 power blade. Got me on the ropes right here. Honestly, Ant-Man's a fair trade there. I accept humbly and graciously. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. All right, so if I play Kitty Pryde out, She-Hulk costs me 2 next turn. And then Hit Monkey costs me 3, and then all the ones are free 99. Seems pretty good. Okay, so Monkey is 15. This puts me to 15. This is 7, 10, 14, 17. Breaker, give me some news. I think I've got a few points over you. They're up 11, we're up 18. Clean. I think I can firmly stamp exceeds expectations on our pile of cards so far. It's a nifty little mix. It's always, and I think this kind of highlights why these releases have been good recently. Is they've done a good job of adding cards that aren't overtly powerful, but supplement previous archetypes we had visited nicely. Google, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. This hand is stellar. Holy. Yeah, Warlock here is kind of acting as like Black Swan redundancy. You could play a less consistent version of the deck without him. He's doing something that adds value here. This draw is kind of punishing for not playing Sunspot on 1 and playing the kitty. Okay, here's a thought. Do I tap Black Swan so I can fill the White Hot Room next turn? I think I do, yeah?
Apocalypse.
Give me a 1. Give me a 1. So sad. I'm so sad. Oh, such a terrible 50-50 to lose. Gambit's my least favorite card in this card by a very significant margin. Really just sucks.
I'm about to juice this up.
They killed my hope, so I don't have extra energy. At least there was no coin on my screen flipping, right?
Oh, snap.
$20.25, they killed my hope, so I have no energy. God, it's so bad when you put it that way. It sounds so bad when you put it that way. We got Scorn back from the Analan. Oh.
You won't need this anymore.
So they have 18 points for 25. My hit monkey is 11. I can flip a coin here.
Opponent snapped.
Don't want to play more games against them. I think I'll take the coin flip. Oh, what about Bob moving? That's a good call. Oh, Dracula's a nuts top deck. Holy shit. So they were minus 5 without that top deck. They had five cards in their deck there. We should have known that was coming after how their game it went in the first game. It's just something the cookie crumbles. All right, we're definitely gonna play some more with this one, so it's been very reasonable so far. But we take a brief pause for the cause, let some adverts roll in the meantime, in between time. Appreciate everybody hanging out for Warlock release day. Don't go anywhere, gamers. If you're watching on the YouTube side and you're enjoying the content, make sure you tap the like button. I appreciate all the folks that have done that already today. Can Warlock hit multiple cards? Yes, but Warlock also doesn't reduce a card that's already at 0 unless there's no other target. So in that last game, all my other cards were free, so it prioritized reducing She-Hulk.
Epic.
They all went on She-Hulk because everything else was free. It's kind of Warlock basically is templated like Kahori. For each energy you pass, it picks one card at random and gives it -1 cost. The Pokemon YouTube channel is down less than 100 subscribers after posting our little video calling out our fascist and chief use of the Pokemon IP. I'd be curious to see if Nintendo gives them any pushback on that. Feels like I'd be surprised if they did. Basically every other large thing in the space hasn't pushed anything back. What did he do with Pokemon? So for people that missed it, The Department of Homeland Security posted an official video on social media intermixing arrests of people with the Gotta Catch 'Em All theme song from Pokemon, as well as scenes from the Pokemon anime. Really, really tasteless and disgusting. It's real bad to say the least. Switch! Thank you for the 3 years of support. Welcome back. Ah, my favorite stream sniper.
Opponent snapped.
All right. Look at our activate friends here, charging up in the center. Thank you, Los Diablos. Appreciate you. All right, and then we're just like gonna spend no energy on the last turn of the game. I guess we could draw like a Gwenpool or a Moon Girl, but we're about to get charged up here. When sequencing, we want to make sure we sequence Black Swan and then Warlock, so that way Black Swan makes the ones free and then Warlock applies his discounts. So that way Warlock won't try to discount the ones. Alright, so they have one of our ones. So my monkey is 13, and my sunspot is gaining 5. So I'm at 13 on the left. I think I want to put my biggest thing possible over here. And I think I just play hard for the right, and we just keep them honest in the center. That's a big lady, but not quite big enough. Invisible bit to enable Sage is cute. Jeff, can I ask, what keeps players coming back to Marvel Snap in your opinion? Well, for me, it's very straightforward. Marvel Snap has essentially executed on what I personally have always wanted from a live service card game. I think Snap does regular, careful live balance in a way that allows new cards to be released that are interesting and competitive without strictly power creeping all of the old designs. For my old Magic the Gathering players in the audience, Marvel Snap feels like they've created a digital version of Modern from when I really loved that game, where like there's a deck. If you had a deck that you loved, you could know you could keep playing that deck basically in perpetuity and feel reasonably competitive with it, but also there will be occasionally new things that get sprinkled in that you can upgrade that deck with, like Warlock in this one. This deck list is actually 11 out of 12 cards that I had played in the past that were pretty reasonable then. Not top of the metagame, but serviceable. And now it has a new toy in Warlock. Someone had asked if Gwenpool is necessary for this deck, and the more I'm playing it, the more I think I might just cut her in general. She hasn't felt insane. I guess I could play her, and then she has like 11 points, I suppose. That's probably fine. So my alternative was playing Black Swan last turn, but I think that's worse than just doing this. Shanoobster, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. His animation is very good. Okay, so I'm gonna play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna play out 5 cards with this. So this is 10. And then this is 10, obviously. I'm playing 5, so this is 15, and then this is 10. I think it's just this. I think it's just this. I should play around Teenage Warhead better. And then we're at 19 on the left here with the Kitty Pride. Clean game. Coolly and calmly calculated. Thanks for the forge.
Victory. Oh, snap.
The Rock unironically carried. To be fair, if the Rock hadn't been there, I would have gotten a discount on something else. Alright. I think we're punting the center.
Opponent snapped.
I doubt Warhead is in their deck since the nerf to 4 cost. Sure, but it was free to play around it. So I agree with your premise, but also like if it's free to play around something, you should play around it. Gosh, that's probably just like a worst case scenario on both sides for us, so. So this is 6. And this is 10, so I go to 19 here, and they're not getting any bigger. Damn. Oh, if I would have played only one card out, would we have won? If I would have played, or sorry, if I would have played only Hit Monkey on the right, I think we would have won. No, we'd have been short. We'd have been short. If our Grand Central had pulled literally any other card out of our hand, or had pulled literally any other card out of their hand, we would have been fine. Rip. Expansion could screw our hope on the left, but I think that's where I want to play. All right, rewarded. Our lack of Swan and Warlock here is sad.
I'm about to juice this up.
I think this is our out to win the game, right? Just try and lock them in the center. Okay. And then they get minus 11 down to 11. But then they get plus... But then they get plus 4 to 15. But then I get plus 9 here.
Opponent snapped.
They're gonna pull Bob out. If I do this, I'm at 15 and they're at 15. This puts me at 20 to them at 15, and then the Hit Monkey kicks left as a 9-12 power thing. Sorry, as a 10 power thing. Math. Yeah. Counting is busted, shit. Counting is busted.
Victory.
What's my superpower, chat? Basic arithmetic. I'm not familiar with how US politics works. Is the US president really some kind of absolute monarch and those before Trump just didn't abuse their power? Or is there something akin to a parliament that could contain him and is unwilling to? Yes, there is. Both the Supreme Court and Congress have the ability to check the power of the president, and both of them have decided that they wish to be complicit in everything that is going on. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Trump is a symbol. He is not the entirety of the disease. The only reason Trump is able to do what he does is because the entirety of the Republican Party is okay with everything that he does. Interesting. So we're doing this. Gosh, my hand really kind of sucks. I think I'm doing this. I think I need more points here is the problem. I don't currently have a She-Hulk or a monkey. And if I draw a She-Hulk, my line on this last turn is less good, but there's a monkey. So I have 8 energy. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 total. How big is this over here? It's like relatively big, yeah. This is 9, 13, 19, 24, 28. My monkey's got some amount. Them putting their point center is good for us here. That is a 17 fucking power Sebastian Shaw. Christ almighty. Yeah, I guess they did just have unchecked Viv Vision starting on turn 3, huh? They just like had Shaw and Surfer in their opener. Good beat. And they had Shaw, Surfer, and Brood into their unchecked Viv Vision. Brutal. Yeah, I got one more shot to take their points away here. Yes, Warlock has a very restrictive window on when he needs to be drawn and played. Needs to be drawn and played in the first 4 turns of the game, essentially. And I think part of his problem is you can't really play him with Magic because the decks where your upside is not big enough to go over the top of other Magic decks is essentially the problem. Yes, the current matchup that we're playing is not really a remotely reasonable baseline for, like, is Viv Vision powerful? Because, like, our deck is very explicitly looking to do nothing. Do we ever Kitty plus Titania middle? No, that's messy. It's just not worth it. Alright, so this is gonna give me Titania plus... This is gonna give me Titania plus a Hit Monkey as a copy. Ooh, look, we put the Fear of Titania in him.
I'm about to juice this up.
Oh, it's just Titania. Oh, shit. Well, my brain's real bad. Oh, I guess turning off their Surfer's Middle is somewhat appealing. That's fair. Yeah, I don't like how I played this game at all. Every Surfer is +6 on the right, so they go up to 39 over there. I'm gonna play 4 cards out with my Hit Monkey, so he's 17. I can only add 30 here, so we're just dead if they have Surfer, which is 75% to be the case. Right? That maths. Yes. Yeah, exactly that. We play hard for the left and just assume they don't have it. This is enough to win here, yeah. This is puts us up to 20. Yeah. So if I would have played the Titania Gwenpool in the center, we probably win this, question mark. How many Gwenpools do I get? I don't think I get a bunch of Gwenpools if I do that, right? Unless we counted the right correctly. I had a couple of sequencing spots we could have done better here for sure. A big part of why we lost this is we lost a 6-cuber to a flip. I don't think the 2 before this we could have done anything. You get 3? Is that the case? I don't think you get 3. It's one of those more weird interactions. I think the Titania jumps after the location triggers. Is the way it works out. Or is it when you play Titania, do 2 jump to start? I actually don't know. I feel like I need to write that one down. I'd really appreciate a screenshot or a video example of someone showing how this Titania works with what's it called, because I really just don't want to take chat at face value. My expectation is that you'd only get 1 Gwenpool.
Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
discard is probably favored into the Nexus. I would wager they make a better raw linear number than we do. Getting rid of taking their score away is not nothing though. Makes them potentially less consistent. Losing their Dracula is great for the home team. They have one card left in hand. Unless Khonshu. If it's a Khonshu, they're only a coin flip to get it on the Nexus, and I think we still end up pretty ahead in that situation. Oh, speaking of flips, what a flip to lose. Or the double flip as well, because there's a Titania in their pool. Yes, it is. That's true. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose the game because I didn't account for that, didn't I? No, we're dead anyways. I clicked the wrong button. My kingdom for this to just be 8 cubes.
Escaped.
I'm gonna give a particularly strong take that most people want to poke me for anyways. I don't know. We could eat croaks. We're 2 hours in, but just as a gut feeling, I think Warlock is probably going to be a very skippable card that most people can ignore. It probably makes this D tier deck marginally better by adding a consistency element to having a second virtual Black Swan. But this deck has never been very good, and making it more consistent isn't really a big upgrade to it. I think other builds of the deck, we tried to play it with Limbo via Magic, and these She-Hulk, Infinite, and other decks just don't make meaningfully big enough numbers to keep up with other decks that can leverage a turn 7 really well, and these decks are highly synergistic, meaning they don't have room to play tech cards to give you a chance to keep up with other decks that are going to go over the top of you. So this was novel. This was, 11 out of 12 cards that I played in the past. It's got a fun strategy to it, but ultimately it's a pretty low power level, and even if you play it perfectly, you're probably going to come up short in a lot of your games. I will say, I don't know what I want to cut this for, because I feel like I need another way to make numbers, but Gwenpool felt exceedingly awkward in here. Any suggestions for a different card that makes numbers that we could play in this deck? Yeah, Surtur, I guess, but he's not even that big of a number. Like, Shuri doesn't really work on curve. Shuri would be shit for the same reason that Gwenpool's pretty shit. Marvel Boy's just a 3/5. Frankie's just a 2/6. Like, we're not triggering any of these cards. Like, this is the problem. I don't know if there's a good fit. Surtur is probably the closest thing to a reasonable suggestion because it triggers off of She-Hulk and it triggers off of Hitmonkey on occasion. Sasquatch is not a remotely playable card here. We're not playing our cards early. It's probably this. It's probably this. I don't think any of them are particularly good, but it's probably either Surtur or Bishop. I think 3 energy on both of them is not great. Pedro is not a card that puts numbers into play, gamers. It's not remotely the kind of thing we're talking about. Yeah, I agree with Kyle. This deck is like turtle, explode on the last turn, and most of the suggestions people are making means they're missing the kind of fundamental point of what the deck is looking to do. And again, I want to emphasize, I don't think the deck is very good, even when everything lines up optimally, but a lot of these cards just like run exactly counter to like what is going on. Wonder if Warlock will do a thing in Bounce. Bounce is very explicitly a deck that does not want to skip a turn you're not using any of its energy. Bounce is a deck that, if anything, would use twice as much energy as it currently has. Could Sue help Sunspot when you pass your turn? So the thing about that type of suggestion is, in that type of game, you have to have both Sue and Warlock by turn 4, and you had to have one of them on turn 3. And it's just such a very specific sequencing of cards you have to draw in order for it to be usable. You want what could maybe be a hot take, chat? I wouldn't be surprised if this card gets buffed to like as much as at a minimum, I think he'll probably gain a point, but honestly, he could probably be a 2-drop. Sage is unironically a reasonable suggestion. It's a card you don't mind copying with Moon Girl. She's a little awkward with Titania on some of your sequencing, but she at least like fits the mold of like what we're looking for here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting people who buy Warlock will probably play him for weekend missions and then do absolutely nothing with him from there. And also I want to, and this is kind of like the icing on the mediocre card cake, is that Warlock is a card that even when absolutely everything goes right for this card, he gets completely hosed by a relatively common tech card. And I feel like the proportional payoff that you're getting when everything goes right is not remotely enough to make up for the fact that you also get hosed by Mobius. Yeah. So you're like, all right, pie in the sky, my best case draw scenario, my deck's like a 7.5 out of 10 if I'm lucky. And then my 7.5 out of 10 turns into a 3 out of 10 if they happen to have Mobius. You buy him for his glitches. Victoria Hand just has a lot of the same problems that Gwenpool does, which is we don't want to be spending energy on turn 5. You have to skip your 5th turn is a very real cost. So like you basically can't be spending energy to set things up otherwise. That's the big issue with it. So you should buy Frigga instead. You should absolutely spend resources on a good card rather than Warlock. Yes, Frigga. Frigga is a very good Marvel stab card. And if you want to play Victoria Hand, Frigga is an excellent pickup. She's good in discard and she's good in all the Victoria Hand stuff.